But let's get more now on that breaking news that the Armed Forces Minister Al Carns would join a leadership race if the starting gun was fired, in his words. Lucy McDade, our political correspondent, is here with me. So just remind us who he is. He's possibly not a familiar name necessarily to all our viewers.
No, exactly. However, in Westminster, Al Carns is a name, he's a bit of a rising star, if you like. He's a 2024 intake MP. He represents a Birmingham seat. But his name has been swirling for quite some time as potentially a bit of a dark horse in any possible leadership contest. But as you say, members of the public at the moment might not know who this man is. Well, he has a strong military history. He is a minister in the Ministry of Defence. He's a minister for Armed Forces, but a strong military history. He was in the Royal Marines. He's completed 5 tours of Afghanistan. Somebody, therefore, that I think a lot of MPs, potentially a growing number of MPs, feel that in any leadership contest, this man would have a strong personal story to be able to win over the public. And actually, when we're talking about personalities, we're talking about an electorate that's very disillusioned with mainstream politicians. Perhaps he's somebody that could actually win over a vote in a general election. So what do we know? Well, it is being reported that he would run if there was a leadership contest. Of course, this week we are seeing plenty of speculation that there may well be one coming up soon. I've spoken to a number of people this morning who believe that to be true. In fact, I was speaking to one person who's been heavily involved with working with Al Carns previously, saying that he is very ambitious. This is a man that wants to rise to the top. Actually, interestingly, saying that even if Al Carns doesn't get the numbers, wouldn't necessarily win a leadership contest, that's not to say that he wouldn't then become an even more significant figure in the party, perhaps a defence secretary. This is a man that has advised a number of defence secretaries, has a fair bit of political experience behind the scenes, so could well be somebody that might come out from, not one of the names that we're seeing Wes Streeting, Angela Rayner, Andy Burnham, but perhaps might actually get quite a lot of support from the majority of MPs who have so far stayed silent.
Yeah, really interesting. It's interesting to see all these names that come forward and potentially where they may then line up behind who potentially does get the role as well. So yeah, it's looking ahead, isn't it, as you say, for another potential role in government.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are looking for somebody that really captures their attention, motivates them. And it seems that Al Carns is somebody that, like I say, that we haven't heard from about 200 Labour MPs. It's worth bearing that in mind, that a lot have stayed silent. And these are MPs that feel that at the moment they don't back a certain candidate. Perhaps Al Carns is someone that they look at and think, well, when we can't decide, is this a man that actually could win over both voters that have gone to Reform and the Greens in a general election? He has a strong personal story. He's a man, he does TikTok videos, for example, of him doing pull-ups. He gets people that maybe aren't that politically engaged. And I think that's something that will be quite significant to a lot of people trying to make their decision.